G'day warbanders, and today I want to talk about Manor Lords and just give it a review. Now, I've clocked in about 14 hours and I just want to give you my thoughts and what I think of the game and whether you should buy it or not as a customer. Just want to reiterate, I'm not a shill, I'm not a talking head for Hooded Horse. This is my thoughts, and please take it with a grain of salt. Of course, consider it if you're buying the game or not. But, you know, just be aware, it's my opinion. It's not always the right opinion. I don't expect, my opinion to be the best. But here it is, guys. So, if you don't know what Manor Lords is, it's basically, a medieval city builder with a mix of Total War and Banished, Stronghold, all those types of classic games that we know about. And yeah, I just want to start with the positives. So, I find the graphics are really gorgeous. Right, the Unreal Engine is very good in the graphics department. You can't really beat it. I can't think of any other beautiful city game like Manor Lords. But I'm not a graphics person. But if I was, this would be a great game in the terms of the graphics. No performance problems on my end. Extremely smooth, which is unheard of from Unreal games. I usually have problems with them, but not this time. I didn't have to fiddle with the settings too much, which is a godsend. Thanks, Slavic Magic, for taking performance seriously. I ran this game flawlessly. The organic city building is nice for aesthetics. It's really a change of pace. But of course, the more efficient players or meta gamers, they prefer building grids, unfortunately, like myself. I build grids because, I'm just an RTS player. Like I'm from that RTS space, and, I try to build things efficiently. So, it's nice to have that option of organic, city building, but what are you gonna do? And the biggest point about this game is every citizen is simulated. So a person has to go chop down a tree and get some wood. Then the person has to go to the saw pit and make a wood into planks. It's very much like the Settlers, as Mac mentioned it in his review. And there's a whole production chain for every resource in the game. That's what we expect from agent-based city builders. Where every citizen or person or thing is simulated, right? And it's a very relaxing and chill game. Like, I was really into it. I was in the flow of the building my city, and I could see this being like a comfy game. And yeah, it's just awesome in that department. And then we can move on to the war, and I love this aspect of the warfare mechanics where it's deadly. You only go to war when you feel like you can win, or of course, I haven't played the combat, and this is mainly focusing on the city building aspect. So if you're looking here for like a review of the combat, this is not the right place. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. But the boring point is that I haven't got to the combat yet because it's too slow. Like, to get there, man. Like, I'm building shit, and I can't get there. Not yet. But what I've seen looks pretty decent. And I like the strategic meta game, the background where you fight minor lords in your region, and your domain essentially gets bigger and bigger, so you can cover the resources you don't have in your starting region. Of course, there's no AI lords just yet. There's only static bandits, but I'll talk about that more later. And unfortunately, I haven't played the combat, but from what I've seen, the armor, the weapons, they're all in period. I love the look. The dev really paid a lot of attention to the armors and details and everything in the battle sector. Of course, I haven't played it yet. But from what I've seen from other YouTubers, it's great. Hopefully I can get to a major battle like 1,000 people, like Strat plays and all that. Now, here's for the meat of my review. And I know a lot of people are getting angry at me for stating my opinion on the negatives, but I'm just going to say this up front. I don't think it's like the best game ever, like in the city builder genre. I don't think it's the best game ever. I think this game is way too overhyped for what it is. Okay, it's a great game for a single dude. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. It's a decent game, but there's negatives, there's flaws in it. Okay, like every other game, there's going to be flaws, and that's okay. That's okay, guys. And as a customer, you should know these things. So it's a simpler Ostriv city builder, or a simpler Sons of Six. If you don't know those city builders, they're basically more complicated than Manor Lords, right? I think they're better games, to be honest. And I won't go into detail, but Ostriv is essentially, it has like that, you know, family management, and they actually have aging citizens and an actual economy, you know, internal economy. It's not abstracted through regional wealth, as the game calls it in Manor Lords. There's actually economy running in the background. With Sons of Six, you have the battle combat and you have the, you know, diplomacy. Diplomacy is non-existent really in Manor Lords, and I get that it's an early access game, but you got to consider, guys, that if we're comparing the gameplay objectively, the city builders I just mentioned before, Sons of Six and Ostriv, are simply better in the gameplay department because they just have more mechanics. I'd only play this game for the better graphics, or you might play it for the better graphics, okay? But when we compare, again, as I said before, it doesn't come through, like, it's not superior in gameplay. So yeah, the way you control your population is through abstraction, or families. These family units are your labor units. This is fine and dandy, but then you realize your population doesn't age, nor do you have any natural population growth resulting from coitus. So don't expect aging in this game for your population. They're basically immortal unless they die in combat. Alright? Livestock doesn't breed. I don't know why. You have to import livestock. You can't, you know, let them breed and, you know, make more stuff. So, you know, I don't know why that's on the game from the get-go. And that's fine. Single developer. The UI around managing families is tedious. Like, this is the biggest problem I had with the game, was when you get to a larger size, around 100 people, you know, you managing all these individual family units, all these labor units, and it's getting difficult just keeping track of everything, right? There's no macro, you know, drop down menu like Banish where I can just assign woodcutters and all that, and just there's none of that there. So I have to go to each individual building and click in it and change families around, and that gets extremely tedious when you get to the, you know, bigger cities. Hope they fix that. The highest difficulty setting, and I was really excited to try out the highest difficulty setting, but it's just basically really hard. I know you go, oh, Woman Plays, it's supposed to be really hard, but like, I'm talking about it's hard in a non-fun way, okay? You know, go check out Aussie Drongo's video on the highest difficulty setting, and it's basically RNG based, whether you survive or not. You basically have to build 2 warehouses at the start, so your suppliers don't degrade from weather, and if they do, it's basically game over, because your families would just leave your city straight up, because your approval ratings just, you know, going down like way too fast. And yeah, I had to drop down the difficulty because it was just, you know, basically unplayable almost, like, or, you know, in a normal way. You have to really exploit the game and really know the game to play on the highest difficulty setting, which is okay. Early access game. Yeah, and again, I said this before, too long to get to the combat. I'll just repeat that. The replayability seems a bit low, so I've seen a lot of people raise this in comments and discussion posts, and they're right. There's only randomization for the resources, and the game feels a bit binary. Like, you're always going to build the same buildings, the same build order. There's no rivers or seas. There's not much variation. I'm always doing the same thing over and over again when I'm starting a new game, and that's fine for a city builder. I expect that, I assume, but, you know, just be aware. You're building the same build order over and over again. There's not many disasters to shake it up. There's not many, like, changing things. Like, you know, it's pretty static, except the bandits. All right, that's it. And the off-map enemy. No multiplayer expected, but, you know, maybe multiplayer later. I don't know. And, you know, no AI rules to interact with. That's fine, but, you know, just be aware. I don't think we have that on release. Hopefully it comes on release. Hopefully. But, you know, just be aware. Static off-map enemies and static bandit camps. And yeah, that brings me to the end of this review. Now, I can already hear people time in the comments saying, you know, shit review, but this is the truth, guys. I'm telling you the truth, and I always tell the truth on this channel, or you know, I try to tell the truth the most. And yeah, I just think it's an overhyped game. It's a good game for one person. It's a very good game, but the hype is way too much. I blame myself and all the other YouTubers. I blame everyone in the YouTube space for over promoting this game. I only just said I liked it, and that's it, right? I liked the look of it, right? But everyone has to hype it up into oblivion, and I wasn't too a part of that, but I was a part of it, so I'll say it's my fault as well. And basically, in the gameplay argument, you know, people call this a screenshot simulator, and I'll have to agree with them. The game makes for nice screenshots, but the gameplay is rather, what would I say? It's, you know, standard. Okay, standard for a city builder. It's not it is innovative in some areas, but I just don't think it is the best city build in the world. It's not. And but you know, if you like these sort of games, I would recommend it. Go buy it. Go buy it. But just don't buy into the hype, okay? Buy it with, you know, purpose, and purpose that you know that what this game is, okay? It's a stronghold like, it's an Anno 1800 like, you know, with the needs and all that. Very similar to Anno. Very similar to Banished. Just think a mix of those games, right? Except like it's a, you know, it's a worse version on each end. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's basically better city builders out there. Is what my point is. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I love to hear your thoughts. I love to argue and like to discuss. Please keep it civil. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. Cheers. Bye.